It says, Father, our eyes are opening at last. So what it's saying is we're beginning to see this truth. Where darkness was, we can look upon the light, that is actually possible. Father, our eyes are opening at last, and your holy world awaits us as our sight is finally restored and we can see. So it's trying to tell us that we're not going to go anywhere. We're just going to awaken to what God has in store for us right here and right now. You know, heaven, as it says in the Course in Miracles, heaven is here, there is no other place. Heaven is now, there is no other time. So we're not going anywhere else to find the truth or to find the peace that we're yearning for, to find the light that we're yearning for. It's here with us now. And it says that as we begin to do this, well, we're getting towards the end of the workbook lessons, it says our sight is finally restored and we can see. We thought we suffered, but we had forgot the Son whom you created. Now here are the 4 kind of big clues in this lesson. We thought we'd suffered. But here are the truth about us, these next 4 lines, or next 5 lines actually. But we had forgot the Son whom you created. We forgot who we were. And in the forgetting is where we kind of fall asleep to our reality. We think that the darkness can hurt us. We think that suffering is possible. We think that illusions have power over us. But an illusion or a lie said over and over again, as we've said many times, doesn't make the lie real. It still makes it a lie. We just say a lot of times. So the idea is it's time for us to remember who and what we are. And I always like the old fairy tale of the ugly duckling. Don't you? To me, that's exactly what we are. You know, we're trying to become what we are not. The Course tells us we're in exile here. This is not our home. We are really heirs to the kingdom. We are princes and princesses, if you will. I mean, when you played princess when you were a little girl, you were right. You know, we are heirs to the kingdom in essence. We are royalty. We are God's holy child in whom he's well pleased. We just think we're the ugly duckling. You know, remember the duckling who could never fit in? He never was like his brothers and sisters because he wasn't a duckling. He was a swan. Now the reality is there are no ducklings in this world. We just all think we don't fit in. And we all do in some way. In some, you know, we think, oh, that person fits in, but I don't fit in. I think Facebook, we were kind of joking about it earlier. Not that I put down Facebook, but Facebook is kind of an unrealistic impression a lot of times. People post their best stuff. You know, if I'm going to post a picture on Facebook, I'm probably going to take a few of them and pick the better one. I'm not going to post the first one I see with my eyes closed. I'm probably going to wait and get a better selfie of myself or something and post that. So, you know, we all are feeling like we're the ugly duckling if at times, though, we don't think nobody is as ducklingish and ugly ducklingish as me. You know, we're all kind of feeling that way. And we all should, because we don't abide here. This is not our home. Our reality is that we are one with God, and that has really never changed. So the first point is so important. We've forgotten who created us, but we had forgotten the Son whom you created, and that's us. So an important awareness. Again, this is not anything new. We talk about this all the time. We need to remember who we are. That's critical to the Course's thought system. So there it is underlined once again. But we had forgotten the Son you created. Now we see that darkness is our own imagining, and light is there for us to look upon. Now, that's a good one. That's an easy one. We go, yeah, absolutely. Now we see that darkness is our own imagining, and light is there for us to look upon. When we are doing these workbook lessons, when we're talking about them in a meeting like this, we all go, what? Absolutely, right? Is that true? But when we're in the midst of the darkness, we don't do that. That's why this is a practice. That's why in the midst of those darkening thoughts that we have, whether they be financial challenges or health challenges or relationship challenges or challenges in different parts of the world, to have a thought in our mind where darkness was, I look upon the light, a refocusing of our attention is critical. That's why the workbook lessons, doing the workbook lessons is critical. So that when we fall into tough times, we're laid off from work, a relationship ends, finances are hard, that we can look at this and say, but where darkness was, I look upon the light. I refocus my attention onto the truth. And that's why that line in there is, now we see that darkness is our own imagining, and the light is there for us to look upon. Okay, the light is there. I may have to look for that light, but that light is there. And that's the lesson we did last week. If you remember the lesson we did last week, lesson 325, where we said, all things I think I see are reflections, reflect ideas. So if our heart is filled with darkness, if we're lost in that feeling of fear and doubt, we seek and find things to reinforce that. But if we are holding on to the truth, if we have been resting in this, if we have been exercising that spiritual muscle, if we've been doing our lessons or some sort of spiritual practice, then our mind is filled with the possibility of light. And if we are focused on that, then that is what we will seek and find.